Welcome to the Manifestation Pod. We're Sam and Louise, two ordinary mums living extraordinary lives.
Every 2 weeks, we're diving into a new well-being, self-care or self-development topic that we've used to manifest a life of joy.
We want you to join us on this journey. We are all about building a community of people who are ready to do the same, manifest their best life, one step at a time.
So grab a cuppa, get comfy, and let's get started. Hey! Welcome to the Manifestation Podcast with me, Louise and Sam. It's been ages.
We're back. That was a surprise hiatus, wasn't it?
Wasn't it? I mean, I can't remember the last episode. Maybe we should have listened to it before we recorded this today. But yeah, I can't remember what we said. Did we say we were having a break or did we just disappear?
Just disappeared. We actually left it on a cliffhanger because we did an episode about rest and I was talking about Nidra and my rest journey and everything. And then there was so much of that I wanted to cover that we were going to do another part of it. And then life, man.
So I suppose we should do a quick catch up. So nothing's happened. Just to reassure people that nothing's happened, that we've had a break. We've just had a break. We've had a very long break for no reason really, other than life has kind of got in the way and this took a back seat. But I think we're both committed. Yeah. Can I use a word that big on a Sunday morning? Committed to continuing with this because I've really missed it.
I have too. Seriously missed it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like our little weekly or fortnightly therapy sessions. So yeah, so we'll do a little catch up. So our most recent news is me and Sam have just come back from France, which was lovely. It feels ages ago now, but yeah, we've just had a lovely holiday with the girls. Eating all things French, going on bike rides, being in the country, being by the sea, just absolutely living our best lives. Great holiday. It was great because obviously we had each other for company and the kids just went and did their own thing, which was amazing.
It was so good, wasn't it? It was really good. And all that time together, just kind of like sat by the pool or sat in our little lodge, just like thinking about the pod or just thinking about life, talking about life. It was just lovely.
We didn't even talk that much really, did we? It was so restful while we were there. It was just so chilled out. We didn't really have any like major conversations or it was just very easy come, easy go. Taking it easy. Lying, one of my favourites, it doesn't involve my child, bits of it was we had like a cabin with what would you call it outside, like two sofas, for want of a better word, and just lying, you on one, me on the other, just having a bit of a siesta at like 5 o'clock. It was, oh gosh, yeah. Yeah.
It was really easy breezy, wasn't it?
It's
really beautiful and unique, I think, to have a friendship like ours where you can just have a week like that with no drama, no stress, no like need to do anything that you don't want to do, just to be. It was lovely.
Yeah, I think we're quite on the same page with that, aren't we? There's no pressure to go and do anything. You did a couple of things on your own. I can't remember if I did a couple of things on my own, but yeah, it was nice. It was just dipping in, dipping out, having a bit of quiet time, having less quiet time. The girls had a ball away from us as well, which was good. You know, when they were like off doing their own thing, it was nice because sometimes on a holiday, when you're not at home, you've not got all your things around you. It's quite full on when you've got kids because you're just expected to entertain them almost constantly. It's so much easier when they've got a friend as well.
I know, and they're at such a lovely age, aren't they, for just kind of having quiet time and doing their own thing and then nice time together. It's a really beautiful age to travel with them, actually, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm looking at I've been looking already. I was looking as soon as I got back at Croatia next year. I found somewhere that looks amazing and it's only 10 minutes from the airport, so watch this space.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, I've been meaning to send you a link all week, but I might send it to you after this. You can
Mm,
have a
have a
look.
look. Yeah, exciting. So what's been happening since January? Do we need to do a little life catch up before we go?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've not done very much since January. Still cracking on with the house. Downstairs is nearly done. I'm having sliding doors fitted to create some separation between my lounge and my dining room because I'm all open plan. That's been done on the 28th, so that's quite new and exciting. And then the booth for the kitchen, which has been causing me a headache, that is going to be done probably before the end of July, before we go away. We're going away in July. We're going to Scotland for a week to stay with my cousin. And the husband and kids and my auntie. It's a bit of a family holiday, so I want it done before then. And then I'm done downstairs, so that's quite exciting. So I've been cracking on with that. Um, Not really very much. I've just been. I think this year my goals for this year were to see my friends more and have some quality time with friends and family, and I've absolutely done that. I've got 4 holidays this year, which is more than we've had in ages, and very little work.
Mm,
Quite enjoyed that. I've learned into it. I'm doing stuff in the house, but at a very slow pace. I've got like 3 things that need doing before the end of the year, and then next year is a new year. I'll crack on with something else. But yeah, I'm just taking it easy this year. It's lovely.
sounds good. Sounds good. It is a contrast to the craziness that has been my year, I think.
Yeah,
It, yeah, my year has just panned out really unexpectedly. But this is probably a big part of the break for me, I think, because yeah, I ended up going to India in February quite unexpectedly, within like 2 weeks kind of notice. Something that I'd been dreaming in. I don't even know if I mentioned it on the podcast. I can't remember. I think
not
I
sure.
started
I
thinking.
don't think so.
No, I don't think I did. Like it was just kind of in the back of my mind, sort of November, December time of this pilgrimage that I'd seen. And then 2 weeks before it was supposed to happen, I wasn't going, but really wanted to go. And then, yeah, I shared it with a group of ladies who encouraged me to set up a crowdfunder, and that went really well. And then I was there 2 weeks later. So that was a bit mad.
Yeah, that was very random, but very good. And obviously, you got a lot out of it, didn't you?
Oh gosh, yeah, like totally life changing. I feel like a completely different person, like inside out. Like just so many things have changed, sort of spiritually, emotionally. The pilgrimage itself was really special because I met loads of amazing people who I'm still in touch with, and they're kind of changing my life and a new part of my life now, which is amazing. And yeah, the spiritual awakenings just keep on coming. So,
Love that. Do you know what's funny? I've not really been on social media all year. I've certainly not posted anything or not much. But I keep seeing, because you post a lot of reels or stories, and I keep seeing your face. And every time I see you lately, you look amazing, like particularly amazing.
thank
And
you.
I've really, really noticed that. You can see the transformation in you. I've been like, oh my God, she looks so pretty there. Not saying you don't normally, but
Yeah.
there's something going on. You look really glowy and attractive, and whatever's going on inside is clearly coming out. I've meant to say that to you for ages. I've really noticed the change.
Oh, thank you. That's really kind. Yeah, like
It's crazy though, isn't it, when you think about it?
it is weird. Yeah, it is really weird because that's how I feel like inside. I've changed on a cellular level. So it's not just like mental and spiritual. It's like my actual body is changing because of the spiritual awakenings. So it is different because normally, like, you just, I don't know, lose weight or do something different health wise, and that would make it look kind of different. And
Yeah,
there's definitely elements of that for sure, because like there has been like dietary changes and stuff like that. But I think it's way more than that. Like you say, I just think I've stepped into this like new vibration and this new energy that is changing everything.
Yeah, you can definitely see it. You can see that you look like you've had a glow up
Mm,
without the going to the beauticians and having a glow up. You've just had like an internal glow up that's really showing on the outside.
yeah, thank you. A few people have said that actually, and that's, it's really lovely to hear because it is how I feel. Yeah, I really feel like I'm stepping into like goddess energy. That's
I
it.
love that. I love that. Goddess energy.
Yeah, like just reclaiming like parts of myself and parts of my body that like I don't know I've ignored or not been happy with or whatever, and just yeah, loads of changes. So yeah, it's been a pretty epic 6 months, really.
I love that. Yeah, you have been really busy in the last 6 months. It's like we've swapped, isn't it? Normally I'm the one like, doing lots and lots of things and
Mm,
you're the one resting and taking it easy and being all chilled out. And now, yeah, I'm
no,
doing some of that and you're out there doing it.
yeah, I know. It's cool. It's cool. I could do with it being like a little bit slower for the next 6 months of the year, I think.
Yeah.
Still on the same kind of energy. But yeah, maybe not as much traveling for the next 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, maybe as we get, I mean, we're in summer, aren't we, at the moment? But maybe as it gets into kind of autumn and winter, you'll just naturally slow down anyway. Um, with
Yeah,
our cyclical living as well, and living towards the seasons. But yeah, no, I'm kind of feeling like that at the moment. I'm loving doing lots at the moment, like lots of things socially because I'm making the most of the weather and the light nights and the longer evenings. And yeah, it's really nice.
yeah, it is good. And yeah, I mean, my diet has changed. Like my morning practices have changed, and I suppose all of that like makes a big difference to every day, doesn't it, long term?
Yeah, yeah, of course it does. Yeah, it does make a difference the more you do things like that.
Yeah, I think Glastonbury was a big part of this physical change as well. I think Glastonbury helped my body catch up with all the stuff I've been going through, bizarrely. Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah, that's a special place, Glastonbury. Really special.
Oh, I love this. I love this. You are in goddess mode.
Yeah, stepping into my goddess era.
Well, if I'm going to claim a name for myself, I feel like I'm having a hot girl summer.
Yeah.
I've lost weight, not purposely. I've met somebody. I'll say this on the podcast, and yeah, I think I'm just not eating as much, and I'm just a bit more active. And yeah, I feel you only feel good about yourself. I
Yeah.
feel really good about myself at the moment. Like externally, I always feel good about myself internally, pretty much most of the time. But yeah, externally, I feel good about myself at the moment. So yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah. Love this energy.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's really nice and long may it last because they don't, do they? They don't last. Everything's a phase, good and bad. But I'm absolutely embracing it at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Make the most of it, hey?
Yeah,
Shall we get on to our topic then?
let's talk about boundaries.
Mm, yes, a big one. This came up for us a lot on holiday, didn't it? That's why we wanted to bring it to the pod today.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've definitely done work on boundaries this year and last year. I mean, I'm always doing work on boundaries, but I think um, for me, I'm very good at boundaries with other people. I'm really all over that at the moment. And I think there's some people in your life who you have maybe difficult relationships with. And I've kind of I've really firmed up my boundaries there to the point that I've cut people out, which I've always done. I've always cut people out. If someone's not serving me, I'm sorry, but you're gone. I don't want you in my life. I only want people in my life that add value to it. I know that sounds really, really harsh, but that's all. Why would I want people in my life that make me feel shit? Um, and this particular person has made me feel shit for a long, long time. And it's only really after saying absolutely no more
Mm,
have I realised just how shit I felt. And I'm just not doing it anymore. I'm not doing it. So that was a biggie for me in January, weirdly. And I had a very, very tough January. I had a tough Christmas, actually. But yeah, the other side of it, what are we 6 months later? it's really served me well.
Mm. Do you
And
think?
because that was such a big one, like anything less than that now, I'm just like, no, I'm not doing that. And I think learning to say no to other people, not being afraid to say no, not being afraid, and you don't need to give reasons either to people. You can just kind of go, this isn't for me anymore, in a very nice way. You know, people who invite you to things that either you don't want to do or it doesn't align with you. It's absolutely fine to say no, and I'm really leaning into that as well and turning things down and being a bit more choosy about what I say yes to. Because I think sometimes I don't know why I say yes, but I just say yes to certain things. I spend weeks then thinking, how can I get out of it? Whereas now it's just easy to say no in the first instance.
Yeah. And do you think that big boundary with someone in your life has led to a lot of changes? Because I feel like it has. It's like I feel like it paved the way for a lot of changes.
Yeah, it's made everything else easier because I feel like if I can do that, I can do anything.
Yeah.
Nothing else will ever be as difficult as that. That
Mm.
was the tough one. But I feel very at peace with it. I don't feel upset. I don't feel like, oh, what if? I don't. It is what it is. Some people don't serve you, and it doesn't matter how they related to you, or if it's not there, it's not there. And if people are actively making you feel shit and making you feel upset and making you feel a certain way, life's too short for that. And you know what? There's too many nice people in the world. There's people who I'm friends with who they're really good friends, they're really good people, and I don't get to spend enough time with them. So the more you cut out negative people, you've got more room for the good people, the people that you do want to connect with.
Yeah, I was just going to say that it clears space, doesn't it, for the
It
new
really does, yeah. And
things.
it helps you so much, like inside.
Mm,
I think as well, it's like desensitization. I think when somebody's difficult, if you saw that on TV or you saw that with one of your friends, or God forbid, my child, you'd be like, why are you putting up with that? But I think when it's yourself doing it, it doesn't start like that. It very slowly gets worse and worse.
mm,
And you don't notice it at all.
yeah.
It just creeps up on you before, you're putting up with things that are just completely unacceptable.
Mm,
Um, so, yeah, there's that. But I feel very, very. I've not had a drink for nearly a year, and my mum thinks it's because of this, but I'm not sure. I feel like a much calmer person,
mm, yeah.
and I don't know whether it's the not drinking alcohol, or not having this person in my life. But this person caused me a lot of stress.
Yeah.
Every interaction caused me some amount of stress, and
Mm.
it wasn't good. So it's all good.
Mm. It's really powerful, isn't it? Really, really
Yeah,
powerful. Not easy. Like I've always struggled with boundaries, I think, as like I suppose I've grown up as a people pleaser and been so easygoing that I would never in the past like consider my own sort of feelings, wants, and needs when it comes to boundaries for the most part. So I think I've been on a journey with it since I left HMRC, really, with boundaries. And I think one thing I've learned in the last year about boundaries is, like you say, those ones that like creep up on you. When I think about my role in the charity, like I let that overtake so much of me without any boundaries that
yeah,
was just unsustainable, completely unsustainable. And then I think I've gone the other way now because when the funding ran out for that in September and I got made redundant and everything, I was forced to put in place like really strict boundaries
yeah,
that enabled the charity to keep running, but also begin to pull back like everything that I'd overgiven,
yeah.
in terms of energy and time and everything. So putting in boundaries there have really, really helped me. I think I got so burnt out from over giving in that scenario that it just, yeah, it couldn't continue any longer. And that was like all self-inflicted,
Yeah,
self-induced. I had no one breathing down my neck for me to do that. it was just all stuff that I'd always kind of done and not like fully reflected on the energy that I'd given to it. So I think boundaries there have massively helped. I think I may have taken them to the extreme of like put a fortress around me, I think, in a way. Um, but I'm kind of working on that now to be like, well, I can still be boundaried and not be like really, blocked from it as well.
That's yeah, that's the thing. You can do whatever you want. And I think part of it is being a woman. I think we're conditioned to put other people before ourselves. I mean, I'll be honest, I've never done that. I've always put myself first, always. And I think people might think that's quite selfish, but for me, it's self-preservation.
Mm,
If I can put myself first, then life's easy. You can deal with everything then because you're not burnt out or feeling resentful or because
mm,
that's the other thing as well. I think people pleasing.
yeah.
I think certain, and I'm not saying this about you, but certain types of people pleasers, you
Mm,
almost become a martyr with it, and then you feel resentment about it. So you're doing someone a favour on one hand, but you're pissing and moaning about it on the other, which isn't a nice person to be or a nice place to be. So
mm,
actually, it's a lot easier to just say no in the first place and go, yeah, sorry, no, I can't do that. There's
mm,
nothing wrong with that. And if someone's going to challenge you then and say, what do you mean you can't do that? You can't do this favour for me. You can't do then you need to question your relationship with that person. Are they
mm,
friends with you, or because they want to be your friend, or because you've just been walked over your entire relationship with them?
yeah.
It certainly makes you think. And I think we need to do that with all our relationships, just think about them and vice versa. Think about what we bring to the relationship as well and what we do for other people.
Absolutely, yeah. And just kind of really, yeah, question that and think about that and see where you can put some boundaries in place. And if you're new to them, start somewhere safe, somewhere that might feel easy and simple to do it. That's certainly what I've done is kind of practiced in small ways before I've done it in bigger ways. Um,
Yes.
and I think my people pleasing was like linked to some kind of trauma response of like, I didn't feel safe unless I made sure like everyone else was okay and everyone else had absolutely everything they needed from me in the perfect way. And that's just ridiculous. Like, obviously I'm safe without all of that. But
Yeah. And they are as well. And it's not, I say this to my mum a lot, it's not your job
no,
to make everybody else, make their life easy, if you like. I don't mean like your family and stuff, but it's not your job. People figure stuff out for themselves. It's
yeah,
not your job to make sure everybody else is okay and then deal with yourself last because that'll ultimately end up in burnout, which is probably what happened with you in the charity. And I mean, our boundaries are very different because I'm talking specifically about personal things.
yeah,
That's work for you. But I think where you've possibly struggled with boundaries around that is because it was a charity, it was your charity, it was your baby. It's got such emotion tied to it. It wasn't like a normal job where you're working for somebody else.
mm,
There's a lot of emotional baggage with it, isn't there?
yeah, yeah, exactly. And a big part of putting, actual boundaries in place was also working on those like energetic ties because as someone who, is now working in energy and healing, um, what I've come to understand is that, everyone that I've helped over the years through that charity, hundreds, thousands of people, I've kept an energetic tie to all those people, unknowingly, unwittingly.
Yeah.
And so doing some work around that, cutting the cords of all those ties and leaving that behind and making sure that going forward I don't keep those ties when I help and work with people now. So it's not about not working and helping them. It's just about doing it in a different way, doing it in a very boundaried way where I don't walk away with like still a tie to them energetically.
Yes, exactly. Because the other thing is as well, again, like I was saying about relationships, that's freeing you up and your energy up for more positive things. Because I read this recently, we only get a finite amount of energy each day. And you
Mm.
can choose to use it on things that drain your energy and make you feel very low vibe, or you can use it for good.
Yeah.
Like it's literally your choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have a choice.
Yeah. And maybe, part of this like glow up or me looking, better, feeling better is part of that as well, calling that energy all back into me for my good rather than giving too much of it out to others.
Exactly. And that's really important. That's all we're trying to do, isn't it? Like have better lives.
Yeah. Do you know what's really interesting? I can't remember whether you told me this or I read it somewhere, but that like estrogen is known as like the doormat hormone. And when we start getting less estrogen during perimenopause and menopause, that's why we start getting pissed off and like get
Oh,
like a bit more I don't know, angry about it, I guess, and start getting pissed off with things because we were given loads of estrogen to help us like raise children and be patient and like kind. And then when that starts dwindling, it kind of opens up your eyes to the things that you probably put up with and not put good boundaries in place with. Uh,
that's really interesting.
so I think
I didn't tell you that.
mm, must have
But
read.
yeah,
Yeah. So I think it's another good reason for anyone at this stage of life or approaching it to start working on boundaries because the more of them you have in place, I think the easier like perimenopause and menopause would be, I think. Do you agree?
absolutely. And I think I said to you on holiday about menopause, and I say this constantly. You need all your ducks in a row in your life for when menopause hits, because if there's things that are wrong in your life or things going on, it will just shine a light on it and it will just make the whole thing so much more hard than, I mean, it's hard anyway, but it will just make it harder. So I really do think you need to sort your shit out
Yeah.
in your kind of late 30s, early 40s, so that you're ready for it and you're in the best possible place. But it's interesting about the estrogen because when I was young,
Mm.
I used to slag off women in the 50s. I used to say, oh my God, they are so moody. They are so this, they are so that. I hate women in the 50s. This was like when I was 20, worked in an office. And I've realised now that I'm a 50 something woman. It's not that I'm bitter and twisted. I'm just not putting up with shit anymore. And I'm someone who's never really put up with a lot of shit anyway. But now I am militant with it. I will not take shit off anybody about anything. And I think maybe that is possibly what you're saying about the estrogen. You just go no more. And I think some of it is an absolute age thing where I'm coming to the end of my like work career, which is bonkers, but I kind of am. I got a pension statement through the other day, so I can draw on it in 2 years' time because I'm 55 in 2 years. And a pension that I set up when I was 20, or maybe even younger than that, was for me to retire at 55 because 55 sounded ancient when I was 20.
Mm.
So I'm kind of hitting that, and I've really realised that life's too short. I've got less time left than I've had,
Yeah.
unless I do live to be a what they call centennial. I don't know, but anyway, unless that happens,
Mm.
it's unlikely. I've got 53 years left. So yeah, you bet your ass I'm not taking shit off anyone now, and I'm going to live my best life by my rules.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's just puts it all into perspective a bit, doesn't it?
It really does, yeah. I think when you're in your 30s and even 40s to a degree, you just think you've got ages, and you have. But I
Mm.
think at this age, you really start thinking about, you're thinking about retirement, you're thinking about the next stage. So, I mean, I won't retire at 55. I don't think I'll ever give up work because I enjoy it too much. But yeah, it's interesting. So yeah, boundaries. So let's give the listeners, our lovely listeners who we've completely neglected for 6 months, didn't even say bye to them, we just did one. They probably think we've like fell out. Let's give them some tips for boundaries. So my number one tip is less is more. If someone's asking you to do something, so say you get an invite to a social engagement, I think if we don't want to do it, we're like, oh my God, what can I say? What excuse can I make? Just keep it dead simple by text, because that's how we get most of our invites these days. Just say, sorry, no, sorry, I can't make that. And you can just leave it there. You don't have to overthink it. You don't have to lie. You can just say no, sorry. And it'd be interesting to see the response you get, because I've done that about a few things that I might have otherwise felt compelled to say yes to, especially things around Charlotte. Um, it's fine to say no. And you actually get most of the time, they just put, oh, okay, no probs. Hope to see you soon. Kiss, kiss. And you're like, oh my God, that was easy. So
Yeah,
that's my tip. What's your tip?
yeah, similar. Like start small, find a safe space like that that'll feel simple. Maybe people that you're not so attached to that it would be harder. And yeah, just thrive off that energy then of like, oh, that was easy. I'm going to do that again, and then yeah, start noticing what you get back as a result of saying no to those little things.
It makes your life much easier. And I'm all for efficiency. It really does.
Yeah,
Like it's like eating that frog, doing the thing that you don't want to do first and getting it out of the way. And it, like most things, once you've done it, you're like, oh wow, why was I so bothered about that?
yeah,
It
and
was
maybe just
fine.
yeah, start observing where you're saying yes to things that you shouldn't be, that don't feel good. Kind of start tuning into that a little bit so you can start to begin to see where you want to put some boundaries in place.
Yes. And also tying into that, and I think we've touched on this on a previous podcast, is as a woman, we are not heavenly, heavily governed by our cycle.
Mm,
So I will very often say yes to things when I'm ovulating and I'm feeling fabulous and I'm like, yeah, I can change the world, I can do this, I can do that. That Louise, yeah, I'll come to a birthday party in Swansea. This was an actual real life example in October on a Friday after work. Louise, who's due on the period, Jesus Christ, did I not want to go? The thought of driving in October in the winter to bloody Swansea on a Friday after a full day's work, I don't want to do that. But I'd committed to it. And because I committed to it, my mum was coming, my auntie was putting us up. I literally couldn't get out of it. I mean, as it turned out, I had a cracking night, I had a cracking weekend, it was all good. But I do say yes to a lot of things. I think my cycle, I am two different people.
mm,
There's Louise, who's really, really out there, up for anything, very sociable, very extrovert. And then there's little introverted Louise, who sometimes at certain times of the month, I don't want to leave the house. I
mm,
don't even want to walk to Aldi. I just want to stay in my little cocoon and be safe and not do anything.
mm,
And I think I'm being more aware of that as well. Like, think about where you are when you're saying yes to these things.
mm.
And more importantly, look at your diary and think about where you're going to be when that thing actually transpires, because you might not be in the same mood.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a really good point, isn't it? Lean into that cycle and,
Yeah.
even say, like, I'll get back to you if you know that it's like that part of your cycle. You don't have to make a decision there and then, do you?
No, and a good one for that is if somebody's asking you to do something on the phone, you can literally go, "Oh, let me check my diary and I'll come back to you."
Mm,
So you're giving them a reason why you're coming back to them. You're checking your diary, even if you know it's free, but it just gives yourself, you're not on the spot, are you? It gives yourself some time to just go away. And then if you go back with a, "Oh, sorry, I can't do that,"
mm.
the it's implied that you've checked your diary and you're busy. You've not actually said that, but
Yeah. And I do tend to lean on like, how do I feel about that? Like,
yes, me too.
sort of look at it and I'm like, oh, I really want to go, but do I want to go because it feels good or because I don't want to miss out or, what is it? And like really just have a little think. And if I'm not sure, I just think I'll come back to it and then check in again. Like,
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think for me, because I've been doing this for such a long time now over the last 2 years, I've definitely worked on this. I can feel it in my body. As soon as somebody says, "Do you want to do this?" I either feel, oh, or, oh my God, yeah. I feel it instantly. There might be the odd thing that I'm not sure about because there might be other variables, for example. I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but
Mm.
generally, hard and fast rule is I'll feel it, whether it's a yes or a no.
Yeah. Yeah, me too, to be honest with you. You can kind of tell right away, can't you? And then, like you say, yeah, there might be other stuff like you've got other things around that day, and can you move this and can you move that that sometimes make you think, oh, but yeah, if you get a hell yes, then
Do it. And if you get a no,
yeah.
it's not even a no, it's just that feeling. And
Mm,
I've done it so many times, like in the past. I've said yes to it. And while I'm saying yes, my head's going, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You really don't want to do that.
mm,
But my mouth is going, oh, yeah, oh, thanks. Yeah, yeah, I'd love to do that. And as soon as I get off the phone, I'm thinking, shit, how can I get out of it?
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think the pandemic was really good for boundaries because when we came back from that, I felt like I was really clear on stuff I wasn't going to do
Yeah,
anymore. And I think it'd be good to bring that vibe back again and just be like, check in with it and think about, yeah, the things that you really want to do.
yeah, yeah. And see what feels good. And I think the more you do it and the more you practice it and the more you say no to things, that feeling becomes very, very strong, man. This aligns with me. This doesn't align with me. You can really start trusting your body and your gut instincts. It's serving me so well at the moment, my gut instincts.
Mm,
I'm really, really listening to it. And it's making me make easier choices that are for good.
mm, yeah, I love listening to it. It's just amazing, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
when you really tune in and the more and more you listen, it just feels amazing.
Yeah.
It really does.
Or not, depending on
Well,
what
yeah,
it's
or
saying to you.
not, depending on whether it's, yeah, something
Yeah.
to do.
I also read the other day, this came into my head before and I forgot it, but I read a quote on Instagram and it said, if your life as it is right now
Mm,
was a movie, what would the audience be screaming at you? And I was like, oh my God, that's good.
that is good, isn't it? That is
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
And I think that's a really good. I'm gonna write that down actually. I'm gonna use that as a what would the audience, because we all know, don't we? We all know what the audience would be screaming at us at certain points in our life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I really liked that.
Mm, yeah, that's a good one for your instincts as well, isn't it? Because there's often times where your instincts are screaming things and it's
We're
harder.
ignoring them.
Absolutely. So yeah, start small and listen. I think is a good summary of it, isn't
Yeah,
it?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I've missed us doing the podcast. It's so lovely to be
So
back.
good. Hmm.
So what are we doing? Are we doing a fortnightly one?
I think
We're going
so.
back to fortnightly.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's give that a whirl.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. And let us know if you want us to cover anything specifically or get in touch if you've missed us. We've missed you. We've missed this. So, yeah.
Yeah, and if you've got any boundary examples of where
Mm,
you've done things and you're really proud of yourself, because sometimes it's really hard. Yeah, let us know.
yeah. Or if you want to DM us for some accountability for some boundaries you're going to put in, happy to help.
Yeah, and if you think this podcast would help anyone you know,
Mm,
feel free to send it to them. And if you could like and share, that would be awesome.
yeah. Amazing. Great. We'll see you in a couple of weeks then. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining us today on the Manifestation Pod. We hope you feel inspired to start creating the life that you've been dreaming of.
Remember, we're all in this together and we'd love for you to be part of our community. So don't forget to subscribe, share, and connect with us on socials.
We're here every 2 weeks, so catch us next time with more tips and tools to help you manifest the life you deserve.
Until then, keep believing, keep manifesting, and keep living that extraordinary life. Bye.
Bye.